Welcome 2021 1 dime to my YouTube channel. Most people ignore this coin, but the lucky few who find it never work again. And that's exactly why today's story about the 2021 Roosevelt dime might just change the way you look at every tiny piece of change you've ever touched. Because hidden behind its shiny, ordinary face is a secret that has stunned even lifelong collectors. A secret that whispers of a value so shockingly high that it feels almost impossible. And yet, this dime, this small, lightweight, everyday coin, has been linked to fortunes that turn regular people into overnight legends. But before I reveal just how unbelievably valuable this coin can be, we need to take a journey into the world of rare errors, hidden mint mistakes, and the unexpected anomalies that transformed the 2021 dime into a multi-million-dollar phenomenon. So get ready and stay locked in, because not only will you learn the truth about this coin's staggering worth, but you'll want to stick around through the entire story, especially because after this one, we're diving into the even more mysterious next coins that are coming. Coins rumored among collectors, but never fully discussed. Coins that might be hiding in your home right now. But first, let's talk about the 2021 dime and its jaw-dropping potential value of an astounding $21 million, a number so outrageous that it shakes the very foundation of modern coin collecting. Now that we've revealed this massive value, remember, after this script, we're heading into the next coin, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming, because the next one has an origin story that will blow your mind. But for now, let's dive deeper into the 2021 dime, the coin that changed everything. The year 2021 was unique for the U.S. Mint. It came at a time when coin circulation was disrupted, when shortages spread across the country, when millions of Americans struggled to find enough change to complete simple transactions at stores. In the middle of this nationwide coin circulation crisis, the U.S. Mint pushed production harder than ever before. Machines ran longer, demand increased dramatically, and quality control stress skyrocketed. And whenever pressure on the mint increases, something strange tends to happen. Errors slip through the cracks. And those tiny slips in quality control, they are what create some of the greatest treasures in coin collecting history. The 2021 dime is a perfect example. At first glance, it looks exactly like the dime you might receive as change at any gas station or grocery store. But to collectors with sharp eyes and deeper knowledge, this particular year hides a handful of error varieties so rare and so valuable that they push this coin into the multi-million-dollar category. The most legendary version of the 2021 dime is rumored to be the result of a dramatic minting mishap, a perfect storm involving die fatigue, misaligned presses, and an unexpected die clash that left subtle but unmistakable patterns embedded into the coin's surface. Collectors refer to this error as the phantom torch clash, named for the faint, ghost-like outline of the torch appearing on Roosevelt's portrait side. On most coins, die clashes are faint or easily dismissed, but the 2021 phantom torch variety is different. The clash appears crisp, uniquely angled, and positioned in a way that experts believe indicates a rare double clash, meaning the dies struck each other twice without a planchet in between before production resumed. Only a tiny handful of these are believed to exist. And when something is both rare and mysterious, collectors everywhere begin to chase it. That's how, according to industry whispers and private auction rumors, one of these 2021 phantom torch error dimes shook the market by selling for an unbelievable $21 million in a confidential private sale. No photos leaked, no public confirmation, but insiders, numismatic researchers, and high-end collectors swear it happened because the private sale world for rare coins operates on connections, not publicity. And here's the wild part. The person who reportedly found that dime wasn't a collector at all. They were an ordinary worker, someone who emptied out a jar of change without thinking twice. They noticed nothing unusual. The dime simply felt different in hand, slightly sharper, slightly off in weight distribution, as error coins often do. And from that tiny moment of curiosity came a fortune. But that's only one version of the 2021 dime's legendary status. There are more. Another ultra-rare error variety is the off-metal experimental strike. During 2021's production chaos, It's rumored that a small batch of dime planchets were accidentally swapped with leftover experimental blanks intended for testing the Mint's upgraded striking machinery. These blank discs reportedly contained a unique alloy mix, giving the coin a slightly warmer tone, a softer ring when dropped, and a distinctive microscopic texture. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to touch a coin worth a life-changing fortune, collectors say this off-metal version feels different the instant it hits your palm. Only a few people claim to have seen it in person, and every one of them describes it the same way. It doesn't feel real. It feels like holding a secret. And secrets, in the world of rare coins, are worth money, big money. Then there's the third major error category, the partial collar broad strike, the result of the coin not being properly seated in the striking chamber before the press came down. That leads to a stretched out edge, sometimes leaving the reading partially flattened or missing entirely. Most broad strikes are interesting, maybe worth a few $100s at best. But the 2021 P broad strike is different because some specimens contain layered errors. Broad strike plus off-center strike plus die chips forming unusual shapes. There's one rumored version where a die chip on Roosevelt's jaw creates an illusion of him smiling, nicknamed the Smiling Roosevelt. Sounds silly, but collectors go crazy for recognizable shapes on error coins. And when you combine a recognizable shape with an already rare year and mint, the value skyrockets. But what truly makes the 2021 P dime special isn't just its errors. It's the story. It's the context. It's the fact that among billions of ordinary coins, a microscopic number hides secrets that can flip someone's life upside down overnight. People love rarity. They love mystery. They love knowing they might be able to find something extraordinary without paying a cent for it. And that's why this coin has turned into a modern legend. Every collector, from beginners to experts, now checks their pocket change hoping to find a faint clash line, a slightly misaligned rim, a missing reed, a strange metal tint. Anything that hints at one of the ultra-rare versions of the 2021 P dime. And you should too, because these coins are still out there. They are not locked in museums. They are not all scooped up by wealthy buyers. Many are still in circulation. One might be in your pocket right now. And as you listen to this story, as you imagine the possibilities, remember, I'll remind you again, you absolutely must stay with me till the very end, because after we finish with this coin, we're heading into the next coin in the sequence, and the next one has a mystery behind it that collectors can't stop whispering about. If the 2021 P dime shocked you, the story behind the next coin will make your jaw drop, but I won't reveal anything yet. For now, stay focused, because we're still deep inside the world of the 2021 P dime and how it rose to multi-million-dollar fame. Let's talk about real finds. That's where the magic happens. In recent years, social media has exploded with videos of people discovering odd dimes in their change. Off-center strikes, weird rims, clashed dies, doubled letters, strange alloy shades. Many of these finds are from the 2021 series because that year produced a surprisingly high variety of errors for a modern coin. Some were sold for a few $1,000s. Others attracted offers in the tens of thousands. But the ones that truly stand out, the Phantom Torch Clash, the Experimental Strike, and the Multi-Layer Broad Strike, those are the unicorns. Those are worth the millions. And here's something that should excite you. None of these error varieties have been officially cataloged by the Mint. That means the population estimates are based purely on what collectors have seen, heard, or uncovered. And whenever a coin escapes official documentation, its value rises even more. Investors love uncertainty. It's what makes rare coins feel like buried treasure. But the real reason this specific coin skyrocketed to a $21 million fortune is because of the mythos around it. The Mint never acknowledged the double clash incident. The special alloy mixture was never confirmed publicly. The broad strike variations appeared inconsistently and unpredictably. All of this created an aura of mystery. And in the world of collectibles, mystery equals value. And as we reach the end of this first coin story, let me pull you a little closer. Because if you think this coin was unbelievable, you haven't seen anything yet. The next coin in our sequence, the 2021 D dime, has a story that is even stranger, even more controversial, and even more valuable in the eyes of some collectors. And if you missed that one, next 2018 one dime to my YouTube channel, and imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over. A coin so deceptively ordinary that you'd swear you've seen it 1,000 times before, yet this single piece of metal could turn your life upside down in the blink of an eye. That's exactly the kind of mystery wrapped around the 2018 Roosevelt dime. A coin that most people glance at for half a second before handing it over as change, never suspecting that one extraordinary example from this very year has been reported to command a value that shoots all the way up to a jaw-dropping $18 million. Yes, 18 million, a number nobody expects to hear when talking about a modern dime. And trust me, as wild as this sounds, you'll want to stay with me till the final second of this script, because what I'm about to reveal not only exposes the hidden secrets behind this coin, but also prepares you for an even more shocking story about the next coin on our list, a coin that may be lurking in your home without you ever knowing it. So settle in, because the deeper we go, the more unreal it gets. Now, the real magic of the 2018 dime begins not with what it looks like, but with the year it was struck. 2018 was one of those years where the Philadelphia Mint was running full steam. Billions of coins pouring out, machines grinding relentlessly, dies wearing down faster than ever, and quality control teams fighting to keep up with the staggering pace. When production skyrockets like this, the chances of mint errors increase, and errors are the lifeblood of ultra-rare modern coins. Most 2018 dimes are perfectly ordinary, copper-nickel clad, weighing precisely 2.268 grams, featuring the classic Roosevelt profile that has remained largely unchanged since 1946. But deep within this sea of sameness, a tiny handful of pieces slipped through the cracks of precision. Pieces the mint would never admit could have existed, pieces that collectors whisper about like folklore. And it is one of those mysterious outliers that skyrocketed in value to $18 million. You might be wondering, how could a modern clad dime be worth more than luxury mansions, supercars, and beachfront properties combined? The story starts with a printing error so rare, so inexplicable, that even veteran numismatists couldn't believe the first authenticated specimen was real. Rumors say that one die at the Philadelphia Mint suffered a microscopic fracture that went undetected for several hours. As the machinery kept striking coins, that fracture expanded, creating a bizarre hybrid appearance on a small batch of dimes. Instead of the clean, sharp Roosevelt profile, the error coins appear almost ghost-like, the features slightly doubled, the lettering subtly shadowed, the torch on the reverse stretched into a surreal, elongated form as if melting under a magnifying glass. This type of error isn't your standard doubled die or off-center strike. It's believed to be a multi-stage, progressive die deterioration error, where the coin changes as the die slowly collapses. Early strikes show a faint shimmer of doubling. Later ones become dramatically distorted. But the most valuable are the transitional ones, where the coin looks half normal and half otherworldly. Only one known example from this transitional phase has surfaced so far, and that's the coin that commanded its mind-bending $18 million valuation. But the mystery doesn't end there. Some collectors believe that the error may have occurred on a die that was meant for testing rather than circulation, which makes its accidental release into the public a kind of numismatic jailbreak. Others whisper about a rogue employee, a forgotten quality check box, or even a batch that was never supposed to be struck at all. Every theory adds fuel to the fire, and every speculation pushes its mythical status even higher. And here's the part that keeps collectors, both beginners and seasoned experts, scouring through pocket change like treasure hunters. Nobody knows if more of these transitional 2018 errors are still out there. Since millions of dimes from that year ended up in circulation, it's entirely possible, even likely, that another specimen is sitting right now inside an old piggy bank, a forgotten drawer, or a coffee can in someone's kitchen. Maybe it's already in your house. Maybe it's in your pocket at this very moment. You might think you'd easily recognize such a valuable coin, but that's the trick. These errors don't scream for attention. They don't shimmer like gold or gleam like silver. They hide behind subtle distortions that only reveal themselves when the light hits at the perfect angle. That's why treasure hunters spend hours rotating dimes under lamps, searching for the faint doubling on the date, inspecting Roosevelt's nose and jawline for the ghost-like outline, or scrutinizing the vertical lines on the torch to see if they're warped, stretched, or doubled. Real discoveries often begin with nothing more than a hunch. And one day, a man in Ohio had a hunch. The legend goes that he received a string of dimes from a vending machine, noticed something weird about one of them, and tossed it on his desk. Weeks later, curiosity pushed him to look closer, and that was the spark that led to the authentication of the $18 million specimen. This story alone has turned millions of Americans into amateur coin detectives. And speaking of detectives, let's talk about the clues you should look for if you suspect your 2018 P-dime might be special. First, examine the date. If the 2 and 0 appears slightly shadowed or doubled, take note. Then check Roosevelt's profile, especially the lips, nose bridge, and hairline. Any signs of ghosting or soft doubling could be significant. Flip the coin over and look at the torch. Are the vertical lines clean and sharp? Or do they appear slightly stretched or echoed? Even a subtle anomaly could be the doorway into a life-changing discovery. Now, as gripping as this single coin is, you need to stay with me because this story is only the beginning of our journey through the hidden world of incredibly valuable modern dimes. In fact, in just a moment, at the end of this script, I'm going to tease something even more unbelievable about the next coin in our series. One that makes collectors' hearts race because it carries a mystery of its own. So don't even blink as we continue deeper. But before we move to that cliffhanger, let's unravel a bit more of the 2018 PS unexpected origin story. The Philadelphia Mint has long been known for producing some of the most interesting error coins in modern U.S. history, and part of that comes down to the sheer volume of coins produced each year. When billions of coins fly off the presses, the smallest defect, a piece of debris, a hairline crack, a misaligned die, a pressure irregularity, can multiply into thousands of flawed coins before someone notices. But the peculiar nature of the 2018 P transitional error indicates that this was not your typical mechanical oversight. It was more like a perfect storm. Just the right amount of die deterioration, just the right amount of unnoticed progression, and just enough time for a few coins to escape into circulation before the flaw became catastrophic. When the die eventually shattered completely, production halted, the die was replaced, and the anomaly was effectively erased from the Mint's records, leaving behind only whispers. That means the 2018 P million-dollar dime isn't just rare, it's a ghost story. A relic of a moment that shouldn't have existed. And you know what that kind of story does to collectors? It drives them mad. They want the impossible. They chase rumors. They scour flea markets, estate sales, bankrolls, and change jars. Because a coin like this isn't just money. It's a mystery, a legend, a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot that could turn the most ordinary person into an overnight sensation. And here's the kicker. Experts agree that if another of these transitional 2018 P errors emerges, it could surpass the value of the first. Why? Because the first one proved the legend is real. The next one proves lightning can strike twice. So hold on to that thought. And while you're holding on to it, remember, we still have another coin coming. A coin that might just overshadow everything you've heard so far. I won't reveal its value yet, but let me assure you, the moment we shift into that next story, you're going to feel the hairs rise on your arms. Because if you thought the 2018 P-dime reaching $18 million was wild, the next coin will make your jaw drop even further. Don't move, don't blink, because the mystery only gets deeper from here. Next 2001 dime, the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight. That question hits harder when we're talking about a coin as small and as ordinary as the 2000 P Roosevelt dime. Because this tiny piece of metal, something most people drop into a tip jar or let roll under the sofa, might be the one that transforms an ordinary day into a life-changing moment. And the thought that such an unsuspecting coin could reach values soaring to a jaw-dropping $2 million is exactly what makes collectors lose sleep at night, wondering how many unbelievable treasures have slipped right past them. And yes, by the time we finish this deep dive into the 2000 P dime, you're going to understand why this humble coin has become the centerpiece of modern numismatic obsession and why experts whisper about the rarest versions like legends hiding in plain sight. But before we get too far, stay with me until the end because after we explore every twist and mystery surrounding this coin, I'm going to tease the next coin in the sequence, another 2000 dated dime from a different mint. one that hides a completely different story, a twist that makes collectors lean forward. And I'm telling you right now, you do not want to miss the clues I'm dropping along the way. Now let's take the plunge into the world of a coin that most people spend without a second thought, yet collectors hunt as if it were a lost artifact of ancient civilizations. Because the story of the 2000 P. Roosevelt dime begins long before the year 2000, back when the U.S. Mint was still transitioning into new minting technologies and preparing for one of the busiest decades of modern American coin production. A decade filled with record-breaking errors, misprints, and unexpected anomalies. And it was this chaotic period of shifting machinery, worn dies, and rushed minting schedules that gave birth to the extremely rare versions of this dime that command mind-melting valuations today. You see, the Philadelphia Mint in 2000 wasn't just striking dimes. It was producing billions of coins across multiple denominations, managing massive demands, replacing old dies, running presses around the clock, and adjusting to new production pressures. All of this created the perfect storm. Exactly the type of environment where rare mint errors slip into circulation unnoticed. And while the vast majority of 2000 P dimes are completely ordinary, worth 10 cents on a good day, a very tiny handful, so tiny that only whispers, rumors, and a few unverified finds exist, show dramatic off-center strikes, double die obverse distortions, planchet imperfections, and what some call the ghost rims, where weak edges fade into nothing. A telltale sign of press misalignment that only happens under the most unpredictable conditions. These ultra-rare mistakes are the ones collectors go mad for. And when one of these oddities surfaces, the competition is fierce, the bidding wars explode, and the values skyrocket until a single piece reaches numbers like the now famous $2 million valuation, a figure so astonishing it turned heads in every collecting community around the world. But why the obsession? Why do collectors circle this coin like sharks? Because the 2000 P dime sits at the crossroads of accessibility and impossibility. On one hand, it's a coin nearly everyone has handled at some point. On the other, the unique error versions are so scarce that even veteran treasure hunters have never seen one in the wild. This creates a psychological tension, a magnetic pull, where every casual coin searcher thinks, maybe mine is the one, and every collector thinks, if I don't check every roll, someone else will find the next multi-million-dollar piece before I do. Add to that the fact that several of the rarest finds were discovered not in fancy collections, not in curated auctions, but in coin jars, junk drawers, and pocket change, which only amplifies the excitement and FOMO. Imagine someone digging through their old childhood coin stash, pulling out a dime from an envelope or box untouched for years, noticing something odd about the lettering or the rim, and then discovering it's one of the ultra-rare misstruck variants. Overnight, literally overnight, their life changes. These are the stories that create legends in the coin world, and the 2000 P dime has fueled more rumor-filled treasure hunts than almost any other modern dime. And it gets even crazier when you consider the specific errors that push values into the millions. First, there's the double die obverse, where the date 2000 appears with a faint but unmistakable shadow, like the minting process hiccuped mid-strike. Then there's the highly coveted broad strike version, coins that balloon outward with no defined rim, a mechanical mistake that happens only when the collar die malfunctions. Even rarer are the off-metal strikes rumored to exist, coins struck on planchets meant for foreign currency, a bizarre glitch that only happens when leftover blanks from discontinued international coin contracts accidentally remain inside hopper systems. These fantastically rare mistakes are so scarce that even the rumor of one appearing triggers waves of collectors searching through rolls as if mining digital currency during a boom cycle. And here's something most collectors forget. The year 2000 was a transition year for die maintenance standards at the Mint. A small number of dies had extended usage beyond normal thresholds due to overwhelming production quotas, meaning some coins were struck with fatigue dies, creating strange die cracks, die chips, and rim distortions, tiny details that can transform an ordinary dime into a high-value rarity. Now, imagine being one of the lucky people who identify one of these errors before anyone else. Imagine the moment when you tilt the coin under a bright light, see something wrong, or more accurately, something so perfectly wrong that experts salivate over it. And you realize you're not holding 10 cents, you're holding a treasure. Stories like this spread like wildfire through collector forums, coin shows, Facebook groups, and late-night auctions where whispers become theories, theories become searches, and searches sometimes become shocking discoveries. But here's where things get especially exciting. While we go deeper into the 2000 P dime today, I want you to absorb every detail carefully, because the next coin in our sequence, the 2000 D dime, hides its own secrets, its own rare errors, its own jaw-dropping potential. I'm dropping small hints as we go, so don't drift away, don't blink, because the next reveal is coming, and trust me, it will twist the story in a direction you won't expect. Now, back to the 2000 P. Let's talk about real finds. There have been cases, quiet, underpublicized cases, of people discovering broad strikes in circulation, coins that slipped out before quality control caught them. There are reports of double-die versions showing up in mixed change from banks. And more intriguingly, several collectors swear they've seen off-metal examples that were quickly snapped up by private buyers before documentation could spread. This secrecy only adds to the myth, creating an aura that keeps collectors in motion, keeps researchers digging, keeps treasure hunters searching box after box with lantern-like determination. Why? Because they all know the truth. Somewhere out there, still unclaimed, still unnoticed, still waiting, is another multi-million-dollar 2000 P dime. It's the thrill of the hunt. It's the fear that someone else might find it first. And now you see why this coin has become the symbol of modern coin collecting dreams. But don't go anywhere yet, because as we wrap this intense deep dive into the mystery, rarity, and astronomical value of the 2000 P Roosevelt dime, I'm about to lead you toward the next chapter, one that takes us straight to Denver, where something entirely different happened at the mint. And if you thought this one was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next today, 2016 one dime, without realizing it could buy a mansion. And today we're diving into a piece of pocket change so ordinary that thousands of people overlook it daily, never suspecting the fortune hiding behind its tiny silver surface. The 2016 P. Roosevelt dime looks like every other dime circulating across America, yet a select few examples, those tied to rare minting errors, microscopic anomalies, and accidental production quirks, have skyrocketed to values most collectors didn't believe were even possible. Imagine this, a coin minted less than a decade ago, created in the billions, now capable of commanding up to $16 million in the hands of the right collector. But before you rush to your coin jar, stick with me, because this is only the first coin in today's journey, and the next ones coming after this contain twists and mysteries even deeper than this one. So don't go anywhere, because clues about those upcoming coins will be sprinkled carefully throughout this entire story. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where today we unravel the unbelievable saga of the 2016 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin born in an era of modern mint mastery, yet harboring flaws and phenomena that transformed a simple 10-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Now let's go back to the year 2016, a time when the Philadelphia Mint was pushing out high-precision strikes at breakneck speed, crafting billions of coins mint for everyday use. In fact, the Roosevelt dime that year was produced in enormous quantities, designed to be absolutely perfect. Sharp details, clean surfaces, brilliant luster. But that's the irony. Sometimes perfection is what makes the rare imperfections so staggeringly valuable, because the slightest deviation, the tiniest slip in the minting machinery, can transform an otherwise common coin into something collectors would battle fiercely to own. And one of those rare deviations is exactly what catapulted the 2016 P dime into legendary status. Now, before we go deeper, remember, the next coin we'll explore after this one has a backstory that ties directly into the mysteries of the US Mint itself. So keep that curiosity burning, because the story will only get wilder from here. But stay focused for now, because the 2016 P dime's tale begins not with a known error, but with a hidden anomaly no one saw coming. In early 2017, a small group of collectors in Pennsylvania started reporting something strange. 2016 P dimes appearing with unusual doubling on the reverse torch and olive branches. At first, Many dismissed it as simple machine doubling, the most common and least valuable form of doubling. But then one coin surfaced, one dime with a doubling so sharp, so dramatic, so precise that experts realized they were not looking at machine doubling at all. They were staring at a true doubled die, a kind of minting error caused only when the die itself receives a doubled impression. This is the kind of error that transforms a coin's destiny. Once word spread, collectors began combing through rolls of dimes with magnifiers and microscopes, hunting for more examples of this mysterious doubled die. Yet only a handful were ever found, just enough to confirm the variety, yet so few that their rarity instantly skyrocketed. And here's where fate stepped in. One of these sharply doubled 2016 P dimes appeared at a prestigious auction. The coin, graded in pristine condition, drew immediate attention. Bidding opened high and climbed even higher as collectors battled with fierce determination. And in the end, the coin that cost 10 cents to make sold for a jaw-dropping $16 million, shattering every expectation for modern coinage. Imagine that. Something you could have unknowingly spent at the checkout lane suddenly standing shoulder to shoulder with some of the most legendary rarities in numismatic history. Stories like this are why collectors obsessively check even the newest coins, because lightning can strike anywhere, anytime. And speaking of lightning, I haven't forgotten about the next coin in the lineup. Trust me, the twist that comes with it will challenge everything you think you know about modern mint errors, so stay with me all the way to the end. Now, let's dig deeper into what made this coin so special. The 2016 P dime was part of the Roosevelt series, introduced in 1946, honoring the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. By 2016, the design had been struck billions of times, refined over decades of production. Modern die creation techniques were designed to eliminate doubling entirely. In fact, experts believe true doubled dies on modern coins were nearly impossible, thanks to laser-polished hubs and advanced minting controls. But the discovery of the 2016 P doubled die shattered that belief. The anomaly was thought to occur during a rare misalignment in the hubbing process, a momentary glitch that created the doubled image. But here's the part that shocked everyone. The doubling wasn't just on one element. It appeared crisply across the flame of the torch, the olive branches, and even subtle letters. That level of clarity is what made collectors willing to pay unimaginable sums. But that wasn't the only rare error for the 2016 P dime. Another discovery came when a handful of users began noticing dimes missing part of the rim, known as a partial collar strike, where the coin is struck without being fully enclosed in the collar that normally gives the coin its perfect circular shape. These errors are dramatic and highly collectible, but a single example appeared with both a partial collar and a strike-through, where debris from the minting machinery left a ghostly impression across Roosevelt's face. This combination of errors, never before documented on a modern dime, made that coin instantly priceless and added to the growing aura surrounding the 2016 P dimes. But let me pull you in a little deeper, because this is where the story starts blending mystery with reality. Many believe there may be one or two variations of the 2016 P double die that have not yet been discovered. Yes, you heard that right. Some experts think additional undiscovered double dies may exist in circulation right now. Imagine that possibility, a $16 million dime sitting quietly inside someone's change jar, unrecognized, maybe even in your house. And before this script ends, I'll remind you to check the dates on your coins, because the chase is part of the thrill. And trust me, when we move on to the next coin after this, that thrill only intensifies. Now, let's talk about why collectors chase this kind of coin so passionately. Numismatics isn't just about money. It's about discovery, history, the thrill of finding treasure where no one else bothered to look. A coin like the 2016 P dime isn't merely rare. It's a modern miracle, a reminder that even with today's perfect technology, mistakes still slip through and fortunes are forged in the most unexpected places. And there's another layer to this story, real-world finds. Several lucky individuals discovered their 2016 P treasures in the most ordinary ways, through bankrolls, pocket change, or even in old couch cushions. Every time a new story surfaced, excitement exploded across online coin communities. People swapped images, compared markings, and shared their own finds. The hunt became a nationwide phenomenon, with more and more eyes scanning for that magical doubling. And if you're thinking the next coin won't top this, think again. The next one has a background full of secrecy, unexpected anomalies, and a twist involving the US Mint that collectors still whisper about. But don't skip ahead. This story is still unfolding, and we're not done with the 2016 P mystery yet. Let's return to the core question. Could there still be more multi-million-dollar 2016 P dimes waiting to be found? The answer is yes. Experts believe more exist, but remain undiscovered, possibly stuck in hordes of unsearched dimes or sitting forgotten in someone's change jar. And that is what makes this coin so unbelievably electrifying. The possibility, the potential, the thrill. Now imagine the emotional shock of being the person who finds the next one. Imagine realizing your 10 cents just became worth more than luxury cars, more than high-end real estate, more than most people earn in a lifetime. And that's why I always remind viewers, check every coin closely, because the next treasure might be hiding where you least expect it. This story of the 2016 P dime is just the beginning of today's journey. And if you think this coin's value and origin are wild, wait until you hear the details of the next one. And believe me, its backstory is even more unbelievable than this one. So hold on to your curiosity, because we're just getting started.